Hey guys, it's Rachel from The Little Green Lamb, and today I have a book review on Everything by Nicola Yoon. This is a standalone novel. It came out, I believe, in September of last year. I read it about 2 weeks ago as a buddy read with me and Alex, and it was a lot of fun. I really loved discussing. This book review is going to go as follows as my normal book reviews, and also at the end I'm going to have like a little discussion area where I read you some of the quotes I really liked in the book, which could have contained spoilers, so I will tell you beforehand. So anyway, if you're new to my book reviews or just need a refresher, I rate my books in 5 different categories. Plot, characters, cover, suspense, and overall in terms of reading very soon, 5 out of 5. Not so soon, 1 out of 5. And also this will be a no spoilers book review for the non-spoiler section, and I'll tell you when the spoilers are going to come in. So basically everything. It feels like a million years since I've read this. This is one I was really anticipating reading. I really wanted to pick it up last year, but just didn't find the time. So this book centers around a girl named Madeline or Madeline. I'm going to pronounce it Madeline, though I'm not 100% sure how the correct pronunciation for her name is. But anyway, this book centers around her, and she's actually suffering from a rare disease which prevents her from leaving her home. So she's confined to her house all hours of the day, all days of the week. And she basically has a schedule. She goes through it at the beginning. And then one day she looks at her window and sees moving trucks moving in next door. And next door moves in a family that has a teenage son named Ollie. And she is suddenly captivated, and that's really where the story takes off. So plot for this book, I give a 4 out of 5. Now, there was a part in the middle that was a little bit predictable. If you've read this book, you probably know what I'm talking about. But for the most part, this plot was pretty good. It moved pretty fast. So throughout the book, there are illustrations, such as the ones on the cover, that are very captivating. And there is like little IM chats they have. There is emails. I hope you can see this. You probably can't see. I'm looking up. There's perspectives, so you get all these. Or no, there's not perspectives, but there's like regular chapters, I mean. And then you sometimes have the medical chart she fills out and little diagrams, and it's very personalized. It kind of feels like you're reading a journal type of book, but it isn't set up that way. And I think the plot moved pretty well. I mean, like pretty fast. I feel like the ending was cut a little short. I feel like I wanted a little bit more in the ending. That's one of the quips I had with it. But I felt like the plot progressed pretty well. I feel like it was a solid book. It wasn't like, oh my gosh, amazing, but it was like better than average. So that's why I gave it a 4 out of 5 for the plot. So for characters, I give a 3 out of 5. Now the characters weren't horrible, but they weren't amazing. Like I didn't feel very connected to either one of the characters, and I just felt like, like they were average. Like I felt like they had good chemistry, the characters. All the characters really worked well together. I really liked the side characters, such as Carla, the nurse, and all that jazz. But the main character I didn't really connect with. I didn't connect with Ollie either. Like all the characters I felt like were really good and they connected well with each other, just when they translated off page I didn't really feel that connected to the characters. That's why I rated that so low. But that doesn't really take away from the book, because I felt the story was really good. It progressed well, and had a lot of interesting things and different insights and stuff that I like to read about, and something different I've never read about before. So definitely does not take away. Maybe it was just me reading it this time, but I just didn't feel very close or connected with the characters. Cover, I give a 5 out of 5. That's one of the reasons when I was first seeing this book around BookTube, or when people were hyping it up, I saw the cover and I was like, that is a gorgeous cover. Like, I need to read that. And like, if you see that, it's like a coral reef, and you can see like different fishes, birds. It looks like a coral reef. Like, it's coral reef filled with stuff. Like, there's headphones, books, like different things, architecture, all sorts of things that are talked about in the novel. Basically, it's like a little, what is it called? A mural on the front cover. And it's just really breathtaking. And it looks like, and the letters look like watercolors. And then the inside is like just like an average hardcover. It's a blue one though with silver lettering. And it's just a beautiful cover. This is one you'd want to display because it's just gorgeous. And like even the inside flaps have such pretty display things. Like really, really pretty. I really wish this translated onto these pages right here, like the inside pages, because that would have been really cool, a design like that. And yeah, so suspense, I gave a 4 out of 5. I wanted to know what was going to happen. There's a lot of stuff happening in this novel for a girl that is confined to her house. It would seem kind of weird that a lot would happen, because you think it'd be, not boring, but you think it'd be more like meandering and like slow. That's what, I didn't think that going into the book, but that's like a presumption I guess you could get from this. But a lot happened. It kept me wanting to read. I believe I read this in 2.5 days or 3 days. It felt really short. I feel like I think it took me 3 days to read like the first half of the book, and the second half of the book I read like in a day. I was just busy that week, but really enjoyed this. And overall, I give this book a 4 out of 5. It was just an average well, not an average. It was more than average, but not amazing, amazing. I'd definitely reread this again. It was not only a quick read, but it was a good read, and I really hope to see more work from this author. Especially, I loved how this book was set up and how the story progressed. It was very well done, and I really did enjoy it, and it didn't let me down my expectations at all. And yes, that is basically my spoiler-free book review of everything. Everything, you should definitely go check it out. Now, my spoiler section is going to be me reading some quotes, so this could or could not spoil it for you guys, so you can take your own discretion into your own hands. And yes, I'm going to continue now with the spoiler part, so if you're not going to hear the spoilers, I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. So now, spoiler part. Okay, so now I'm going to go through the passages that I really did enjoy. This first passage comes from page 14. So Carla sits next to me on the couch, and I hold up my hand for the blood pressure cuff. Her eyes drop to my book. Flowers for Algernon again? She asked. Doesn't that book make you cry? One day it won't, I say. I want to be sure I'll be reading it on that day. I really like that line, like that last line that the main character said. I want to be sure to be reading it on that day that doesn't make her cry. I found that very interesting, and I really thought about that for a few minutes, because thinking about what if reading books that make us cry, one day what if it doesn't make us cry because we're so used to it, or what if we just accept it as part of life and that there's going to be sad things, we don't cry? There's lots of different interpretations, so I found that interesting. I really liked this part of 168 to 169. So do you remember when we read The Little Prince together for the first time? I was so upset that he died in the end. I didn't understand how he could choose death just so he could get back to his Rose. I think I understand it now. He wasn't choosing to die. His Rose was his whole life. Without her, he wasn't really alive. I don't know, Mom. I don't know what I'm doing, only that I have to. Sometimes I wish I could go back to the way I was before I knew anything, but I can't. I'm sorry, forgive me, I love you. So, this letter, just talking about The Little Prince. I've read The Little Prince twice, once in French and once in English. And I had to read them both for class time, and I really enjoy it. I really want to reread it soon because it's short, and there's so many messages packed into such a little book. And when looking at the outside, you think it wouldn't hold on any messages. Because typically it's labeled as a children's book, that you wouldn't think it would have a plethora of messages. You'd think usually of a children's book as one main message because that is all people think that they can grasp. So basically the book would be centered around a certain focal message, and there might be little messages, but The Little Prince is just bursting open with lessons, which it's just an amazing novel. So I was really happy that in this book they kept referencing it because it was just great that way. So the next passage comes from page 186. So I have a few little parts from this page. So first, they tried to stop me. They said it wasn't worth my life, but I said it was my life, and it was up to me to decide what it was worth. I said I was going to go, and either I was going to die or I was going to get a better life. And then, maybe I won't get sick, I whisper. That's right, she says, and hope spreads through me like a virus. So I just really like that line. I really like how they're talking about sick, and then there's an allusion to a virus. And yeah, just really great. And then I have another passage from page 218. So maybe growing up means disappointing the people we love. So that's basically, that was a passage, growing up means disappointing the people we love. And I've been thinking about that a lot lately because I've been thinking about family members that have passed on and stuff like that, and if they would be proud of me and what I'm doing with my life. And basically with that, it's you don't want to disappoint the people you love, but ultimately they have their dreams for you and you have your dreams for yourself, and sometimes you have to veer off the path of their perfect dreams for you are and go onto your own path. And so far I haven't really had too much of that problem with my parents, because my parents are pretty supportive of what I want to do. And I basically had the same kind of dream since I was 12 years old, and I'm going on 21, so it's a long time. So I still have those dreams, so I don't really deal that much with it, but sometimes I feel like I might be disappointing because I am veering off the path, and it's kind of a weird thing to think about, so I really like that. The next passage comes from page 302. The Little Prince by Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. Spoiler alert, love is worth everything, everything. And that's where the title comes in, everything, everything. And that is a really big message in The Little Prince. And I just really liked this message because this book is about, basically it's about, everything, everything. It's about going after the things you want to go after and taking risks in life and just loving people, experiencing new things. It's just a plethora of messages in this book, which it doesn't seem like it would hold that many messages, but it really resembles The Little Prince in that way. Like, there's not just one overall message. There's so many messages. There's so many little things you can take away and so many insightful passages that I really did enjoy, and I really want to reread this in someday in the future. And yes, that's been my book review and everything by Nicola Yoon. If you sticked around this far, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.